Hello and welcome, as today is the 8th day of August, 2017. And welcome. My name is Derek, and in this video, I'm going to go over the crypto code NLC2. I first found out about this code because when I look around on YoBit sometimes, I just look at whatever codes come available. And just to fool around, I might put about 10, 20 bucks on something and see how well it's done. I've turned like 15 bucks into 70 or 80 a couple times on here before. So I put a small play on it. Then the next very day or two, I get a comment, this is weeks ago now, where somebody thanks me and says, hey, I got a scoop for you, an inside track. Well, didn't say that, but was stating within NLC2 how it's going to probably go up much more higher or rise quickly, rise to decent levels. And this was at the time frame when it was trading at about 1800. It would further fall down to 12, and it has risen all the way up to 10,000. And there's only one person who sold there, and that person is me. I noticed last night before I went to bed there was nobody with a 10,000 sell order, so I thought, well, first come, first serve, psychological number. Let's put a decent amount, well, not a decent amount, I put an okay amount for sale, and it hit. That was very beautiful, to say the least. Of course, it's probably going to head higher, but how long will it take? Is this the end of its short-term correction? And a short-term correction going 10,000 to 5,000, half its value. Well, it broke out from 2,000, and even from a bottom of around 1,200. So it's had some good gains. Now, upside targets, I see a lot of these cryptos doing 20, 30, even 100x gains. So I'm looking at that from a bottom of 1,200. And a 100x gain would be about 120,000. So to me, if this ever gets into high 5 digits, then I think it's going to be way overbought. But for now, it's had one decent breakout. It's had its original price correction. That's always going to happen. People want to profit take. Heck, I've done some profit taking. But I've come up with a beautiful way of playing this. And I'm going to actually write an essay upon this in arbitraging within my next book, which will come out in a couple weeks. If you purchase the first one, it will be free. I'll just send it to you when it's completed. Expect this to come out sometime around August 20-something. And within it, I was able to do very, very well last night. I was able to get some good gains on this period in here. Well, then, I didn't expect that. Anyway, I had some good gains in here. And then I'm able to profit take a little bit, then buy back. So I'm going to talk about those different types of strategies within it. I got about three short essays that I want to do. I'll probably add a couple more, and that'll come out around the 20th. So the market has had this good gain. It's had a little bit of a correction. It could definitely have more. Oftentimes, when you have a big surge higher, even if it's good or bad, you're usually going to have at least a retest in or around the previous level. So therefore, if it's good, you're going to retest it and either make a higher low, just stall for a while, or even break it. But even if it's going to correct for a while through time or price, you're probably at least usually going to have another decent test of this level after a decent price correction. So therefore, we'll see if that becomes the case or not, and how much further this could go lower. This could even fall down to like 2,500, that key level. Let me show you a different chart, the YoBit chart. And what we're looking at here is the movement that had the rise higher. One thing I noticed is you have some decent volume here that got this thing going. And none of this volume has broken it. It's pretty much came close to it on several occasions. Lots of significant higher volume. But oftentimes when I'm looking at any top formations, I'm going to want to look for probably higher volume than has been shown so far. So therefore, I'm still relatively optimistic within the market. Now, as far as these buy orders concerned, these are what I consider buybacks. These are situations in which somewhere around 7,000, 8,000 I would have sold about 500 or 600-ish or so, and I'm looking to buy 900 back. Within the 24.55, that's when I probably would have sold closer to 4,000. And I would have sold significantly less than 266. And 1883, that's where I did sell 500 of them. Probably around I can't remember what number. Somewhere close to 2,800 maybe? 26, 27? And I've already had about 2 or 3 of these buybacks come in. I had 6 buy orders, so 3 of them have already been executed from situations where I sold at the higher level only to buy back in here. And I've pretty much worked it out so that if, say, for example, I were to, say, sell 2% of a Bitcoin, I want to buy 2% of a Bitcoin back within its market. Now, as far as line shopping, as I call it, and I'm going to talk about this in one of my essays as far within the book. If you're looking to buy and sell, I think it's a very important thing to do. So when we look at the lines on at least these 3 websites, on this site, I'm going to show you the buy and sell orders. On Yobit, you have a very firm, a really tight spread with 54.81 and 54.79 and a decent amount on each side. You can sell up to 900 at this price and buy up to 3,200 at the 54.81 level. Okay, so the best buy price, best sell price. Let's take a look at Cryptopia. And this is a more looser or not as great of a spread difference. 700 points or 12% within or so, 13%. That's a big difference. And you can only buy 35 and change at 59.06. You can buy 27 at 59. Then you got to go all the way to 6,000 at 12.09. So if you want to be a buyer and say you want to buy like over 2,000, you're going to have to go into the 601. You'd be better off to be buying this on Yobit at this time than you would on, of course, this exchange. If you're looking to be a seller, and you know, when I see something like this and the spread's not like I see in Yobit, which is very close. When it's close, if I'm looking to buy or sell, I'll just take market price because that's what happens when the 2 numbers are close to each other. But when they're far off like this, you want to be a seller, get yourself into a bidding war. Sometimes you'll put maybe order at 5,900, 5,905 even. And then, or even when it's so small like this, I'll just match the 5,906. Say if I want to sell like 400, I'll just put 400 in, make it 435, and I'm good to go. If someone had a larger number in there, like say if I wanted to say buy 300, I might go 52.13. Maybe try 52.50, but you're going to get people that will bid over you. And that doesn't mean you're going to get your buy or sell order just because you're on the top of the line as well. You need someone to actually say, yeah, I'll buy or sell from you. Let's take a look at the next spread difference from the cryptocurrency exchange. I call this a ghost town or a ghost exchange. Sort of like what a ghost mall would look like. Let's take a look at this one. And look at the difference in price here. If you can get lucky, I mean, this is just a beautiful spot to try to get a sell order in. I mean, the buy orders are in decent competition. But the sell order here, I got a yellow line here. I'm trying to sell at this number. Hopefully someone will buy off me here. Huge opportunity for great arbitraging, which is buying on one exchange, selling on the other for instant profits, basically. Now, as far as buying, I got a buy order at 3,000. So, you know, it's unlikely, but if anyone wants to sell more than 7% of a Bitcoin and they don't mind going below 49.50, I'm next in line at this key number. Also worth noting with these small exchanges, and this works for like every single code. If one code goes way up or way down, then you can oftentimes get some good deals if you're fast enough. Now this is already way too high to the upside, where if the market goes up on the other 2 exchanges, then you're really not going to be able to get much of a deal. But if it happens to sell off, say the price goes to like 44, 4,500, well, if you're fast enough, you can sell all of these off. You could sell 7% of a Bitcoin down to 49.50. Thus, if they're selling the other ones down to 44 or 45 and anything lower, then you can buy 7% back there, or even 6, or whatever you sell in tokens. This would be 500, 550, 670, plus another 7. So you basically sell about 1,400. You could buy 1,400 back at a cheaper price. You could buy 1,500 back. Different ways of looking at it. But that's any time a market goes up or down and you got a ghost town of an exchange, where are the possible deals? If the market goes way up or way down, can I buy or sell from something? Now, oftentimes, if you don't own anything, the only thing you can do is buy from it if another market goes up. So, for example, it can be a code like, say, Ethereum. Say Ethereum has a big up move where it goes up, say, 7%, 8, 9, 10%, in a 2-3 minute time frame, 5-minute period. Now you check on here, maybe you can buy something that's 4 or 5% below market cost, and you have the instant deal. So that's just something to look at. There's other sites like this too, but the ones that don't have many people, have a lot less of the trading volume, you're going to usually get these spread differences where oftentimes you can just put buy and sell orders, and sometimes both sides. I don't want to be a buyer at 54.21, so that's why I'm not buying there, but I do want to be a seller at the 87.30 mark. All right, so I'm going to conclude this video. I hope you found it informative, educational, and I'll chat with you later on today. Bye-bye.